Welcome to Copter Explainer, the second episode on the most contentious question about land. That is Land Act, Chapter 300 of the Laws of the Republic of Kenya. We have talked a lot about the land registry. We have introduced people called land registrars. And we have said the land registrar is the absolute high priest on questions of land. And they have so much power that they can dispossess you land, they can transfer land to another person, they can register somebody to be the owner of your land without them knowing. Do you know the powers of the land registry? Do you know the powers of the land registrar? They do not have those powers without you giving them those powers under Chapter 300 of the Laws of Kenya. So today, we shall be looking at the powers of the land registrar as provided for in Section 14 of the Land Registration Act. At the top of the land registrar is a person or an office called the Chief Land Registrar. That is the overall CEO on land matters. He or she is based at the headquarters in Nairobi. Then we have the county land registrars. At the county level, you'll get the county land registrars. Under the county land registrars, you'll get land registrars. They are all over in the country. So, what are the powers of the land registrar? Number one, the first power of the land registrar is that he or she can demand from you, the landowner, to produce any document in your possession. He can require you produce an ID, you produce a copy of the search that you have, you produce a copy or the original of the title deed. So they have the power to demand production. This is a similar power like the powers of the High Court. Courts can issue summons for you to produce documents in your possession. Courts can issue summons for a search to be conducted in your possession. The land registrar has similar powers. Parliament can issue summons for you to appear before it. Court tribunals can issue summons. So the first thing that the massive power of a land registrar is to require any person to produce any instrument, certificate, or other document, or a plan relating to land, lease, or charge in question, and that person shall produce the same. Any document related to land, leases, mutations, all sale agreements, all these, the land registrar has absolute power to order you to produce them. Number two, they can summon any person to appear and give information. They can summon anybody to appear except the President of the Republic of Kenya. The land registrar has immense powers. So when you see summons from the land registry and you ignore them, you are committing a criminal offense. So these people can summon anybody to come and explain the authenticity of any document they have, how they got those documents, how the documents have been kept. In relation to land, they have powers to summon you and question you on any issue. Three, they have the power, number three, to refuse to proceed with any registration of any document if they think some information has been withheld or any act of the law has not been performed. Have you ever taken your documents for registration, for title deed, and the land registrar says, I will not register. They have that power, that they can refuse to transfer land that you have bought. They can refuse to issue a title deed. They can refuse if they believe that either some things have not been done properly or some things were done wrongly, some entries are not explainable. So they have the power, the discretional power under Section 14(1)(c) to refuse, to reject your documents from being registered. So stop making noise. You must comply with the requirements of the registrar of lands to do what you want them to do. 4, they can cause oaths to be administered or declarations taken and require that the proceedings shall be verified on oath or by statutory declaration. The land registrar can demand that you take an oath. As I told you, only courts of law have the power to take evidence on oath. Parliament, you take evidence on oath. In church, you don't take any evidence on oath because they have the belief system that you are telling the truth. In an advocate's office, affidavits, you must swear them on oath. So the land registrar has the similar powers as the High Court to demand that documents presented to him or to her must be documents on oath, document sworn before a commissioner of oath. A commissioner of oath is an advocate who is 5 years old in practice and has been admitted to the role of commissioners of oath. That, going further, they can demand that they want a notary public. A notary public is when you are outside Kenya. If you are a Kenyan and you want a document, an affidavit that is going to court or an affidavit that is going to the land registrar, you will go before a notary public. A notary public is an advocate who has practiced for more than 8 years and has been admitted to the role of notary public. There are very few in the country, and that is, if you want any document being sworn here to be used in US, in America, in India, all over, like those students going to study abroad, they must go before a notary public. So the land registrar will demand any document brought before him or her must be notarized or be commissioned on oath by a commission of oath. Or they will demand you appear there, you carry your Quran if you are a Muslim, you carry your Bible if you are a Christian, you carry, you affirm if you are an atheist without any of the religious books, you affirm yourself, then you give evidence before a registrar of oaths. Lastly, they can order for costs to be paid. The registrar can sit and say, for this meeting to proceed, Vivian, you bring 10,000 shillings. Mary, you bring 2,000 shillings to allow this meeting to proceed. And I want to repeat this. It is not corruption. Listen to what the law says, how the registrar has power to order. He says in section 14, that is section 14E, the registrar can order that the costs, charges, and expenses as prescribed under this act incurred by the office or by any person in connection with any investigation or hearing held by the registrar for the purpose of this act shall be borne and paid by such persons and in such proportions as the registrar may think fit. This is, understand this very clearly. You have a boundary dispute between your neighbor. You go to the registrar and say, come and show us where the actual boundaries are. The law allows the registrar, within the prescribed limit, to tell you, for us to come to you in Makueni, block so and so, to get the beacons, you will pay 10,000 shillings. The other one will pay 10,000 shillings. This is allowed by law. Very many people think that the registrar is using money or extorting money or corrupting people by asking money. Section 14, 1B allows the registrar to do that. It goes on to say the registrar will determine this matter and his decision shall be final. So the registrar have a lot of work. Then the question number 2 is, how does the registrar work? The registrar of land works with the surveyors. Surveyors are government officers. The surveyors are employed by the Ministry of Lands. It is a department within the Ministry of Lands. The surveyor is the one who actually gets the actual ground map, draws the maps, says the beacon of Omari is here, the beacon of Mary is here, this is their land. The surveyor is the one who subdivides the original land. For example, 10 of you want to share land of your father or your mother. It is the surveyor who will come there and take the actual measurements and divide that land into 10. The surveyor draws maps. The maps are called cadastral maps. This is what is taken to the land registrar for registration. Every land has a survey map at the land registrar. The Department of Survey, headquartered at NYS on Thika Road, every land map is there. So if you want to go and check the original land from 1902, you'll get those maps there. They are the ones who take the maps from our area. Nowadays, they are doing it digitally. They are called cadastral maps. That is the position. So whenever there is a dispute of land, the registrar will always be accompanied by a surveyor. There are also private surveyors for those ones who want to buy land. You will have a private surveyor, a private licensed surveyor. So the people from the diaspora, this message is upon you. Is the land that you want to buy having all those things the registrar is demanding? Is the land you want to buy having as a map done by the government of Kenya, the survey land? Is your survey map registered by the land registrar? If that land survey is not registered, then you are buying hot air. The Chief Justice called it hot air. Wakili Omari is telling you again, it can be hot air if the land that you are buying has not been surveyed and taken for registration at the office of the land registrar. That cadastral map gives out boundaries. So the question is the land you are buying, do you have the boundaries? And the boundaries are marked by beacons. The beacons are marked and registered at the land registry. Do you have that? Do you have maps that are not there? Are those parcels subdivided and registered, or you are being shown land, you go to Maasai land and you are told shamba yako imeanzia kwa ule mti imefika kwa ule mti na unaona ile mto, hiyo ndio shamba yako. That is why when you come back to Omari that you have been fraudulently obtained by being sold land that does not exist, is because you never listen to Court Helicopter News. Continue listening to Court Helicopter News so that you understand the process of buying and transferring and registering land. Wakili Danstan Omari on the second episode of Land and the Question of Land as provided for in chapter 300 of the laws of Kenya. Thank you.